Hello, sports fan. This is Stephen Hill for Sports Choice Plus. I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering should the Atlanta Braves trade Ronald Acuna. Before I get right into that, I'm going to make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates and all the breakdowns. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Looking at the Atlanta Braves, they took on the Minnesota Twins this weekend. I believe they were in Minnesota. And you saw, it looks like Jarred Kelenic hit a line drive and it went off the warning track wall. And essentially, instead of him having a stand-up double, he had to put a little hustle on the end of it because he watched it. He dog-walked a little bit when he first hit it, and he thought it was going to be a home run. So Ronald Acuna was home, and he got on his X account or Twitter account, and he tweeted out, if that was me, I would have been taken out of the game. Now, we all know what happened on August 19th, 2019, where the Braves were playing the Dodgers, and Acuna hit a similar shot, but his was only a single. He thought he hit a home run out the park, but essentially it wasn't a home run out the park, and he only got a single out of it. He was taken out of the game. He was chastised publicly. They talked about it in the news for a couple of days. They put it front page news in the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and essentially he wants the same thing from Coach Brian Snitker of what he received as a young player. The chastising, the taking out of the game, the things that he felt, the tough love he was given, he wants Jarred to feel that. So the tweet was taken down shortly time after, but before then, skipper Brian Snitker had to answer questions after the game about a player that wasn't even in the game. Ronald Acuna's tweet was screenshotted. They shared him what he thought, and a lot of his questions and answers were, I should have talked to him. I should have did this. I should have did that. And he doesn't know why Ronald Acuna did the tweet. But at this point in time, I'm going to ask this question. Because the Atlanta Braves have won a World Series without Ronald Acuna on this roster, with the current construct of what you have in baseball, is it smarter to get rid of Ronald Acuna and get as much assets as you can because he's shown you that now he's a hurt player, that he has some special stuff, a couple of weeks, a couple of days, a couple of months, but then he's back on the injured list. He's back on the DL. He's back on the disabled list. So now you're asking yourself, is this guy Ronald Acuna still worth it? All the headache, all the frustration, and all these things? Ask yourself, with the Braves only having 8 wins and 13 losses and being the worst team in the Central NL East, behind the Phillies, behind the Mets, behind the Marlins, behind the Washington Nationals, is it worth it to get rid of this guy? And you got to ask yourself, you could possibly retool your bullpen. You could possibly retool your farm system. You know, Chris Sale isn't having the same year he had last year. Spencer Schwellenbach, it's just, you know, it's tough. These guys are pushing the pillar to the post and doing the best that they can with a couple of different lineups that they have, and it's not really doing what they needed to do. Matt Olson, not really playing to the level we've seen him play in MVP type years. So to me, it's just like, why not hit the reset button if you're the Braves? Everybody else is doing it, and with Ronald Acuna, you could get multiple draft picks, multiple players right now, and a couple of players for your farm system that you could possibly train up and develop and have them work their way up through the farm system. To me, it's just like you're just asking yourself, at this point, Acuna makes more headlines for what he does off the field than what he does on the field. Hitting leadoff, he's special. He can steal bases. He can hit for power. He hit a lot of home runs. He does a lot of different things, but you got to ask yourself, how many games are you going to wait for this man? How many games are you going to wait for this man to stay healthy and play a healthy season again? But he has time to tweet. He has time to do all these other things, but play baseball. So you got to ask yourself, if you are the Atlanta Braves, could you pitch the idea to another team to unload that salary, give them a great young player that is injury prone, and get a wealth of stuff back for somebody in their prime right now? Somebody that's of the ilk of a Mike Trout when they're right. Somebody that's of the ilk of Bryce Harper when they're right. Somebody that can control batting lineups from the start and then hit anywhere they want to. You know, the leadoff hitter position that can give you 30 and 30, 30 home runs and 30 stolen bases, 40 and 40, 40 home runs and 40 stolen bases. You know, it's tough. But with that being said, you got to ask yourself, if you're the Atlanta Braves, you have a lot of question marks to answer. You know, you're not getting any better. You're not getting any younger. And you got to ask yourself, is this your piece that you could trade to get back everything that you wanted from this? Possibly. Are you MLB fans, Braves fans? Get in the comment section below. Would you make the trade for Acuna Jr.? Would you essentially have one of the best young players on your roster and pay a king's ransom to have that and give up a king's ransom of what you have in your farm system? Definitely check out Sports Choice Plus for all the breakdowns and all the updates, and I'll see you in the very next video.